I'm Better Call Chad, and it is chinch bug season. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I mix and how to treat these chinch bugs. Chinch bugs can be nasty, nasty. I'm sure you've heard about them. Some people even call them chinch bugs, but they're absolutely called chinch bugs. So, and here's what they look like on there, and I'll show you some images of the damage so you can see. But today I'm gonna show you how I mix and treat for chinch bugs, and you'll see the area that I'm treating too. So I definitely identified it because you can go down and find and see chinch bugs. And I do have a full video about chinch bugs showing you how to go down and find them, but I'll even show you here as well. So today I'm going to be using a product called Triple Crown, which is the insecticide with 3 active ingredients. Great for treatment, prevention, chinch bugs, solid webworms, and all around good product. And then the Works, which the Works is just a surfactant, which is a sticking agent to allow this Triple Crown to stick and work better. Now what I've also done is I put them into smaller bottles here. They're just much easier to manage in these smaller bottles. So this is the Triple Crown and this is the Works. Now the great thing is I have these products in my lawn kit, and that's why I'm showing you today, because these are stuff that I love using and comes in my lawn kit. Now what also comes in my lawn kit, we don't need that, is the cup doesn't come because you don't need that big of a cup, but measuring tools, and also mixing instructions with your measuring tools. So I'm following my instructions, which are what the label rate instructions are. So we're gonna make 2 gallons, and I do have, most homeowners have a smaller yard, and we'll be using a hand sprayer. Even you can even use a backpack, but I have a nice fancy flow zone. Now luckily here I have my write out of the label rate for the Triple Crown. So Triple Crown is 0.23 to 0.80 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. So the recommended rate for solid webworms is about 0.30. And the recommended rate for chinch bugs is 0.80, which is the max. Now, in my lawn kit, I even give you these medicine cups because these are great. They actually have a fluid ounce meter in here that goes up to 1 ounce. So when you're mixing these small amounts, this medicine cup is great. And this is per 1 gallon of water. Now, because most backpacks spray 1,000 square feet a minute, which is most hand pumps. Now I have a setting on here where I can go all the way up to 5, but we're gonna set it on 1 because we're gonna simulate the hand pump sprayer. So always shake up products before use. These are nice and easy. And again, check out bettercallchad.com for my DIY kits that have a lot of this stuff in them with the instructions. So I'm gonna put it just below that 3/4 of an ounce line here. I'm gonna splash it in. All right. And then that was per 1 gallon, so let's go one more time. There it is. And splash it in. Okay, all right. Then we're gonna cap this. And now your surfactant is simply, no matter what product you use, it's 1/2 ounce per 1 gallon of water. And this is awesome because this has a little tip and pour. Actually, sorry, a squeeze and pour. So I'm gonna put this up and it has the 1/2 ounce mark on there. Squeeze it to 1/2 ounce. And pour it in. I guess, I could have just done 1 ounce because I'm doing 2 gallons, but for demonstrative purposes, we'll do it the long way, and bam. And so that was the Works here, which is the surfactant, and Triple Crown, which is the insecticide, which is all in my lawn kit if you want to check out. And it comes with these awesome instructions that make it easy, like I just did to mix, because now we are ready just to put water in it and start spraying. Now the next step is quite simple and obvious here. It's going to be fill up your backpack with water. And I like to wash out my medicine cup in the backpack to all that extra that was left in there can go right back in there. It's the leader sign. we have a nice full backpack, and I have a nice clean cup. And then I love to do it good. So now this is the area of chinch bugs. And you can obviously see why I would check here. Now, do I believe chinch bugs did all this damage? I don't know. I know they definitely did a part of it, but chinch bugs love taking advantage of stressed grass. So this could have started as drought. This may not have, but this is what I came here and saw. And I was obviously like, this is a big damaged area compared to the rest of the lawn. The rest of the lawn is a little thin, but this area is extremely damaged. So let me get down and check, and I'll show you. Here I am checking, looking, and bam, chinch bug party. So now that you see that, you see this giant area, and it's gonna be good to treat you know, this area, and then a few feet, you know, 3 to 5 feet outside even the damaged area. So I'll show you now how I walk around and treat for these chinch bugs. To be honest, this is a bit easier with this electric backpack. I'm able to move pretty quickly because I don't have to do any pumping. So I wouldn't expect to go this fast, but these yellowing grass blades, well, one, the big damaged area was obviously a big sign, but these yellowing grass blades were a big obvious indicator that there's some chinch bug damage or something going on, you know, more. And again, we used the max rate here. And there's ants, lots of ants. Ants do eat chinch bugs. So ants are a great sign that you could actively have chinch bugs. Doesn't always mean so, but you have a big dying area, yellow stressed grass around that dying area, which may be hard to see in this image, but it's here. And then ants. Whew. I don't know, when you have all three of those things, I don't know what the percentage is that you don't have chinch bugs, but from my digging, gosh, I'd say over 90% of the time, you definitely have chinch bugs with all three of those situations. But you always want to dig and look. You can find them and take time too. It might take you, I'm gonna spray a little bit out here. You know, adult chinch bugs now do have wings. They don't fly very well. They kind of more move with the wind. But that's how they can spread from yard to yard and even spread into different spots of your yard. They don't always have to feed in a consistent area. Because once those adult chinch bugs get wings, now they can move. Now also, I'm making sure I get everywhere pretty good, but the main area is this brown in the middle. That's not really where they're gonna be. They're gonna be more on the outskirts of this damaged area. So after I spray everything, I'm gonna use my remaining to really make sure I go around this outside area here and really get it. And it's hard, I'll be honest. When your lawn is thin and already not in great shape, it is kind of harder to tell where chinch bug damage starts and stops. When you have a nice, thick, healthy lawn, it's pretty easy to say, oh, okay, I can see the struggling area, you know, I can see where the damage and bad areas are, and I can obviously see where it gets better. I've got the whole area sprayed. I'm gonna get a good soaking around this outside ring, because like I said, this is most commonly where they're gonna be. And it's really hard in some of these areas because the lawn is thin to see truly where it starts and stops. But it's gonna be better when you know you have active chinch bugs. It's gonna be better to get a further out area than to get less of an area. But man, these electric backpacks work great. This would take me a lot longer with a hand pump and sprayer. But this is a big yard, and I use this often. Seriously, if you have a small yard and you're mainly doing granular fertilizers, there's no problem with a $30 hand pump 2-gallon sprayer. You know, that's absolutely fine. But if you have a bigger yard, and especially if you want to apply liquid fertilizers, man, get you one of these. You'll never look back. You'll feel you'll actually feel like a fool for using that hand pump if you have a big yard, if you've been doing your whole yard with it, where this just really does the work for you. And again, I'm spraying here at 1 gallon a minute, so you can actually boost it up. But you know, my mix rate's all for 1 gallon a minute, and I'm spraying plenty at 1 gallon a minute. You know, the only thing doing more would be is I'd have to mix differently, and I'd get it done a bit quicker, but I'm going at a pretty good pace here. And I'm soaking, I'm soaking everything pretty good. And you see I have this waving back and forth pattern. You know, you wanna make sure you cover more than less. Oh, and here I am running low, just in time as I'm looping around here to get the outskirts for a second time. And that's gonna be about all she wrote here. All right, now I wanna burn my backpack out. So, that's it now. I've treated the chinch bugs. Now what you're gonna wanna do, you know, I could show you after, but you're not gonna see much of a difference, especially in a distressed and damaged yard. But what you're gonna wanna do is wait 2 weeks and check back in. 14 days, come back and start digging around for chinch bugs again. See if you can find any. You know, if you dig around for a while and can't find any, great. I'm kind of a big believer in treating a second time, especially in such a big area. If it's a very small, isolated area, and you dig around, don't find any, you're pretty confident. But in a bigger area, I would probably always treat twice, just to be sure. You can be a little more lenient on the second treatment. It's just, but chinch bugs reproduce asexually. So if you leave one chinch bug left, they will be right back to a full infestation in no time. So that's why it's important to treat good and thoroughly. Now, always read the labels, but with this triple crown, I'm gonna be watering in the next morning to make sure this product gets to where it needs to be, and that's what's recommended. So my lawn kits have all this, everything I applied today, my lawn kits have, and they have instructions on how to use and do everything with the mixing tools you need. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep an eye out for chinch bugs. Chinch bug season is absolutely here in most warm season areas. So if you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. I appreciate the support, and everyone have a great rest of your day.